What's up, everyone? Thanks for popping by the channel, and today I am going to give you the only Propstream walkthrough tutorial you will ever need again, okay? And real quick, guys, before we get too far into it, I just gotta ask, please, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe and follow button below. It just helps support the channel here. It helps me be able to keep doing these videos in the hope of documenting this journey all the way to financial freedom and bringing as many of you guys along the way with me. Now, if you haven't heard of it, you may be asking yourself, like, what the heck is Propstream? Well, if you're new to real estate investing or wholesaling, Propstream is a data aggregation company that allows you to pull different types of information, okay? You can pull property info, tax info, ownership information, MLS information, and basically a bunch of stuff that's going to help you in your day-to-day operations as you're going out there and looking for good deals and also looking for good cash buyers. Me and my team have personally closed over 6 figures in assignment fees, all in the past 12 months. And the majority of the data that we're getting is coming through Propstream. Okay, so that just gives you an idea of how powerful of a platform it is. And make sure to stick around to the end of the video because at the end, I'll be dropping some secret sauce on how you can actually get your first 50 property records 100% free so you can start locking up deals like a pro. Okay, now let's dive in. Okay, what's up, guys? So we're in Propstream now. When you log in, if you already have your account, this is what you're going to see as soon as you log in. Okay, basically, you have the map view. This is the main page you use because this is where you're filtering data, searching for your data, and pulling all of your property lists, right? But before we dive into that, I do just want to show you a couple of things here. On the left-hand side, this is where you have all of your navigation. So, obviously search here. This is the one we're on. This is the one you're going to be using most of the time. But you also have my properties. So when you pull lists and you filter lists, you can save them. And then this is where all of those save lists go for your properties. That's where you can export them, then skip trace them, do whatever you want with them. You have your contacts tab here. To be honest with you guys, we don't really use this at all, but Propstream does work as its own CRM. Okay, so some of you out there who maybe don't have another CRM that you're using and you want to stay more organized and keep track of your leads and customers, you can add everybody you're talking with here to the contacts tab and do that. Skip tracing as well. So once we pull these lists, obviously we're going to need to skip trace them to pull the property, contact information, phone numbers, and email addresses. You can actually skip trace all within Propstream. I think the cost is 10 cents a record, I believe, which isn't too bad. I mean, industry standard ranges from about 8 to 12 cents, depending on who you're using. So, I mean, 10 cents isn't too bad. Campaigns, this is where you can set up your marketing campaigns. So what's really cool about Propstream is you can also send out mailing lists. So, you can mail postcards or yellow letters to people as well to get a hold of sellers. They also have great support. So, I mean, if you ever need to reach out to the help, you can do that here. Here's your settings for, anything that you need to set up for your account, pretty self-explanatory. And then down here, not too sure if you guys can see this or not, but there's a chat support as well that you can chat live with somebody, I think Monday through Friday. So, but we're really going to focus on the search tab the most because that's where the beauty and the bread and butter of Propstream is. This is where you find all your data. So, as you can see, we're hooked to a map here. You can zoom in, zoom out, do whatever you want. The easiest way to really go about it is just search your market. So you can search by city, state, zip code, county, anything you want. I mean, really. So you can even search specific, right, parcel numbers and addresses as well. I'm in Washington, so we're just going to go with Seattle. That's the market we're familiar with. We do deals in the greater Seattle area all the time. So we're just gonna do this. It's a nice big market for the example's sake here. So as I type in Seattle and search, you can see a couple things. Off the bat, Propstream is pulling 240,000 property records right now. Okay, obviously we're not going to pull 240,000 people because most of those people probably won't be a good fit, but we can filter this down, and that's what makes Propstream so powerful. Real quick, before I go into that, there's a huge part of Propstream that everybody seems to skip over, and I just want to take 2 minutes to point it out. You see this little arrow right here where it says statistics for Seattle? If I click up on that, it gives me all of this market data that I think is super helpful, right? Um, no one really touches on this. I don't know why. There's a lot of data that I think is valuable to know here. I mean, you can see the average days on market for different bedroom types, average monthly rent for different sizes of properties. You can see the average price per square foot over time. You can see how many listings are on the market, how many sales have been on the market, and you can really just get a snapshot of how your market is performing. And you might be asking or saying to yourself, like, why the hell do I care about this? This doesn't pertain to me. I'm a wholesaler. All I need to do is flip contracts. Well, you're 100% wrong. This does pertain to you because if you're a wholesaler, you have to realize who your clientele is. Your clientele actually is not the sellers where you're getting these deals from. Your clientele is your buyers, the people who are going to be paying you assignment fees for these deals. And most of those people are probably going to end up being fix and flippers. And fix and flippers, they care about this shit right here. Like, forgive my language, but they care about this, okay? I'm a fix and flipper myself. I'm always caring and looking at how many days are homes sitting on the market. What's the average trend with the listings right now? Are there more listings or is it lower inventory? Are things selling for above list price or below list price? And so you as a wholesaler have an advantage by knowing that stuff because it's just going to make you or allow you to be able to lock up better deals. All right. So just wanted to touch on that because everyone seems to skip that in the Propstream walkthroughs. I don't know why, because it's literally right there. It's super easy to access. You just click that arrow, pops right up for any market. Okay. Now, back to our property list here. You can see here on the right, the 240,000. We could scroll through these and click on any of them that we want. But what we want to do now is filter down these, the list, the properties, right? Because we want to think like a sniper, right? When you're wholesaling deals or when you're investing in real estate, it's all about being a sniper, right? And pinpointing exactly who you're targeting, whether it's probates, pre-foreclosures, divorces, tax violations, code violations, whatever. So the way we do that is in this filter tab here. Real quick, Propstream does have some quick filters. If you wanted to see any of these, like if I wanted to see high equity homes, I can click this, then it'll show me over 100,000 homes with high equity. I could show vacant homes, pre-foreclosure homes, homes set to go to auction. So they have these quick filters, which is really, really nice. I like to personally go through and filter it myself, though. I think it provides better results. So when you click this filter button up here, you now have access to all this different info that you can choose. Obviously, like I said before, we want to pinpoint exactly who we want to go after. We want to be a sniper. So we want to kind of think of who is the person that I want who is the person who I think might be willing to sell me their property for cash. So a popular list that I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with or have heard of is absentee owners with high equity. Right? It's a huge popular list, a foundational list. So let's just try and target one of those. So absentee owner, they obviously don't live in the property. So for owner occupied, I'm going to select no here. And now you can see the system's already filtering down. We had 240,000 properties. It already whittled it down to a little over 88,000. Okay. So let me go back to the filter here. I'll go property characteristics. Let's do residential. And right now, let's just target single family properties. So under property types, let's just go for single family. You can see here that you have all these options. You even have different types of construction. Like that's how crazy Propstream is. I mean, you can filter down so much. I can do bedroom count, bathroom count, lot size, all this stuff. I don't necessarily want to get that granular with it. So we're just going to leave it at that, single family homes. MLS status, I'm going to select no for on market. That's going to ensure that I'm not looking at any properties that are listed, okay? Sometimes we go after all market listings, but sometimes we like to go direct to seller. This one, let's just go direct to seller. Make sure it's off market, no realtors involved. There's a pre-foreclosure and bank-owned tab. So if you had any homes that were in pre-foreclosure, notice default auctions, you can select that here. We're not doing that, not this type of list, but we are going to go to ownership information, and we can actually select how many years of ownership they've had. We can also select the type of owner. So right here for absentee owners, I like to select individual most of the time. What this does is it avoids you pulling properties that are owned by LLCs and corporations, because if they're owned by LLCs and corporations, more often than not, it's another investor. So I'm not looking for that. There's lien and bankruptcy information as well. So like if you want to search for tax liens, HOA liens, mechanic liens, solar liens, anything like that, you can do that here. And there's also this last tab we're going to go into is valuation and equity info. And this is where we can go in and target homes over a specific value or specific equity percentage. And since we want high equity, we want to be calling people with a decent amount of equity. I'm going to say only show me people with a minimum of 50% equity or more in their home. This is going to give me the highest chances of being able to get someone to agree to a cash offer because there's enough equity in the house. So now you can see we have non-owner occupied homes that are residential single family, not listed on the market. They're individually owned and they have 50% or more equity. And now Propstream gives us 17,000 properties. So out of the 240,000 that I originally pulled, I have 17,000 that might be a good fit for me. Now, I can do a couple things from here. If I wanted to just pull and scrub this list, I can totally do that. I can hit this checkbox right here and select all the properties. And then all I have to do is hit this save search. Or excuse me, not the save search. My bad, guys. This add to list. If I add this to a list, you can then put them into a marketing list. Now, here's the thing. Here's the caveat with Propstream is in order to create a list, okay, each list can only hold 5,000 property records. So obviously here, I have way more than 5,000. So I would have to either filter it down more or only choose, the first 5,000, right? I could basically save 3 separate lists or 4 separate lists adding up to the 17,000 if I wanted to do that, okay? But we're not going to save this one here because it's just an example. One thing that I want to do now, though, is show you. So one, it's going to show you all of the properties here, right? But now we have all of these properties and we can actually look and go into these to look up the information. So let's just pick this random one here, 4721 South Lucille Street. I have no idea what this is about, but I want to show you this is where you find all your property info. So this is where you're going to find your owner info, your tax info, all the stuff. You see here, 2-bed, 1-bath house, 630 square feet. We see the lot size, the build year, the tax records, everything. Down here, we can see ownership information, who owns it, what their mailing address is, bed, bathroom count, literally everything, right? HOA. And so this is how you literally get all the information you need. Like people ask me all the time, how do you find these off-market deals to buy and sell? I'm like, dude, it's super easy. You just got to know the tools you use. And we use Propstream. Look, there's MLS details here, so you can actually see, oh, look, this home just sold in March. So like it literally just sold last month. Makes sense. So technically it's not on the market, and apparently it's still absentee owner, right? So this probably wouldn't be the best deal for us, but that's not the point here. The point is that you can actually pull up all the information, look at the tax info. You can look at linked properties. This is really, really cool. So Propstream will actually search and find if people own multiple properties. So this owner owns a property in Bellingham. That's where I live. That's crazy. And they also own a property in Seattle. You can look at mortgage history and see the estimated loan balance on the property and the loan payment every month. You can see where the property mortgage was, made by. This was a BECU, a Boeing Employees Credit Union. There's also different documents and reports here. You can actually purchase all this stuff too. Like if you wanted an assessor's map, you could purchase that for $1.50. If you want, certain documents that are available for purchase, nothing super expensive. I hardly ever do that, but what's crazy is it's all there for you, right? Now, on this property tab, there's a couple other things that I want to go over. Number one thing is comps. So when you're running comparables for your property, you can do all of that within Propstream as well, right? We know that running comps is like the most important thing when you are investing in real estate and doing underwriting and analyzing deals. So the comps or the comparables and nearby listings tab is where you're going to do that. And down here is where you can actually run your comps. So you can put in a date range if you're trying to look at sales from a certain date period, square footage, distance from the subject property in miles, bed, bath count, lot size, all that stuff. Obviously, there's not a whole lot of comps on this one. Why is that? That's because it's a freaking 2-bed, 1-bath, 600 square foot house. That's not the best. Let me just pick another random house here, guys. Sorry. I like to do ones with pictures. But okay, this one's a much bigger house, so you're probably going to see more comps. Okay, so we're looking half a mile away, and you can see here that we have two comparables. We have this one, 11501 Lakeside Ave, and then we have this one, 12029 36th Ave. And as you scroll to the right, you're going to see all of this information. When was the date that it sold? How many bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, comparables, lots, right? So the top white bar is us. You can see here this one, exact same size. 5 beds, 3 baths, 5 beds, 3 baths, both 4,000 square feet. And the lot size is literally a 500 square foot difference. So, I mean, this is a super comparable comp. The only thing that's really different is the construction generation. Other than that, I mean, very, very similar. You also have a map here to show you distance, exactly where they're at in relation to each other. And then if I go back here too, this is the amount. So if you're confused by why some are green and some are blue, it's because Propstream offers public record data and MLS data. Okay, so right here, you can see we're selected on both, so it's going to show us both. But all of the blue bars are from the MLS, which is typically going to be a better place, depending on what state you're in, to look for the data. And then the green is public record, right? So if I select just MLS, it's just going to show us this blue bar. You can see here that other comp went away though. So maybe I want to select public record in this sense. And you can see here that with the public record, I have that other comp, which in my opinion is a better comp. And you can see here that this one sold for 1.5 million last May 17, 2003, right? If I wanted to look up this property and see the comp, all I have to do is click on it, click this details, and it's going to open up a whole new tab that goes to that property. You can't see it right now because I'm just streaming this tab, but it basically will open up a new tab on your computer. Okay. Let's see here. So that's basically what you're going to use the search for. That's the main thing we do to pull lists, data, all of that stuff for our list is all through here. One other thing that Propstream is super powerful for, though, is also finding your cash buyers. So not only do we use this to source our leads and our sellers, we also just turn around and as soon as we get contracts, we go back and source our cash buyers from this exact same source, right? So if I am still in Seattle here and I click this cash buyers quick filter, This is going to show me all of the cash transactions that have happened in my specific market. Okay. Now, what's really cool is I can go up to the filter tab here and I can still filter this down. You also have the quick filters here too. So these filters are directly in line with the other buttons you saw me click. Okay. So cash buyers, I can still filter this down though. So I want cash buyers who are like fix and flippers, right? Guys who are going to fix and flip the property. So I know that they're serious and they buy from wholesalers. So I'm going to make sure this is non-owner occupied. Flippers don't live in their own houses. I'm also going to go property characteristics. I'll do single family again, just to keep it, you know, contextual, what we were doing earlier. Then I will also go with ownership info. And now instead of individual, I'm going to select corporate. Now I'm only looking for cash buyers that are corporations and LLCs, which are fix and flippers. And then typically, when a fix and flipper purchases a property, they're typically buying it for cash or hard money. So they usually have high equity in the house. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put, actually, no, I'm not going to do anything with the equity. Instead, what I'm going to do is, in the ownership information, we're going to put maximum ownership length of 1 year. What is that going to tell me? That's going to tell me that this person bought this property for cash and they bought it less than a year ago. Okay. And they're a corporation. So what that's telling me is that this is probably most likely going to be a flip property. You can see here we whittled it all the way down to 137 properties. Now, these aren't properties I'm targeting. I'm targeting the buyer, right? So I can click on any of these. Let me click on this one right here off of 3rd Avenue Northeast. Let's just look at this. Okay, you can see here, LOF2 Holdings LLC is the one who owns this. So now what I can do is I can take this information, search it in Google, go to opencorporates.com and search it there. You can pull up property corporate information directly from that website. That's a free plug. And go ahead and skip trace that person, right? Even if you wanted to skip trace them in here, you could. You could literally take all these properties, click it, you could add it to a list right here. I could do, I could create a new list. I could do Seattle cash buyers, save it. Now remember, you only have a limit of 5,000. So as long as it's 5,000 or less, you can save it into the same list. If I come back here to my properties, right here on the left, you're gonna see all of my lists. You're gonna see all the lists that I've saved here. So if I go to my Seattle cash buyers 137 here, here's my list. Okay. Now I can select everybody, and all I have to do is go up in here to actions. And actions. Isn't that where you skip trace? No, how do you skip trace now? They changed it. So I can export it if I wanted to export it, new campaign if I wanted to start a new mailing campaign, but I want to skip trace these. So to pull the numbers, what I would do is I think you just come down to this skip trace tab now. You can see here, okay, so 12-cent skip tracing. So my bad. For earlier, you can get 10-cent skip tracing if you get the list automator. It's like a little upsell thing they sell where I think they like list stack automatically for you. I haven't tried it. I can't speak on how well it works, but that is a way to get cheaper skip trace records if that's what you want. So what you're going to do is you go to skip trace, then you select your contacts here, and this is where you select the list. So you come down here, and all I did was just like go down to the drop down right here. and then select my list, Seattle cash buyers. Boom. They're all imported there. Right. Now I hit done. Oh goodness. Sorry guys. One more time. I missed a step. Okay. You do that. Then you have to click this add selected contacts. Add selected contacts, then they all go to the bottom. I think it's fucking stupid. It's just like it's redundant. Okay, here you go. Select them all. Hit done. 137 contacts selected. You're gonna go ahead and next. And then you can basically pay, right? So that's how you're gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. Personally, we don't skip through Propstream, to be honest with you. We mainly just use it for pulling data and pulling lists because it's the best at doing that. So that's what we do it for. And then basically, once again, if you wanted to save any lists, you come here, make sure they're under 5,000 records, hit this, and add the list, right? Now that save search button, this is basically if you wanted to save any filter. So like if I wanted to go back to my filter list for the absentee owners, then I could save that search. So then the system knows to add those parameters every time. And then it doesn't matter if I'm hopping from Seattle to Houston or Knoxville or Indianapolis, the filters will all stay the same. That makes it pretty easy as well. If we go to the left here, I just kind of want to show you some of the other options. The campaigns, I guess this is the last one we have here. Now, I haven't done mailers through Propstream, full disclaimer, okay? But I know that the option is here. You can basically go new campaign, okay? You give it a name, you select a list that you want to target to, okay? And then basically they have different type of postcard templates that you can submit, customize, and then send out. So here is an example, right? So, hey, first name or LLC name. My name is Cedric, and I'd like to buy your house at this address. It inputs the address. If you'd like a quick, no hassle-free, fair price, please text or call me. It puts in your info and all that stuff. What's really cool is you can go ahead and customize all this. There's a print preview. You can download the detail, and then to be honest with you, I don't know the price of this stuff, guys. So I would just reach out to support, and they can walk you through exactly how you want to do the campaigns. Okay, and that's basically it. All right, and there you have it, guys. Like I promised, I hope this is going to be the only Propstream tutorial you will ever need again. Now, you made it to this point in the video. I did not forget about that secret sauce I was telling you about earlier, so here it is. I'm going to drop a link below this video for a free 7-day trial to Propstream, okay? Now, for a full 7 days, you can get your hands on the actual tools, go through it just like we did in this video, even pull this video up and use it to be like a side-by-side hands-on experience. And you can pull all the property data that you want. So if you have a list already of properties that you've been driving for dollars for or calling around for, go ahead and look those properties up. You can pull the owner information, save those properties, and do whatever you need to do with them. What's also great is during your full week trial, Propstream is going to allow you to pull, save, and download up to 50 properties absolutely free, okay? So this is literally like what I needed when I started wholesaling. If I had a platform where I could go in and just get some free leads before I had the money to pay for marketing, cold callers, assistants, and things like that, when I was first starting and had no money, all I was doing was driving for dollars. And if I could go into a platform like Propstream, absolutely free, plug in my properties, pull the owner information, like that is a game changer. So I hope some of you take advantage. Like I said, the link is going to be below this video. Remember, it's a 7-day trial. So if I were you and I was just starting out and I didn't have the funds to pay for this, I would get in, learn how to use it, you can use this video and then just make sure you cancel before the 7 days is up so you don't get charged the $97 a month. If you end up finding that Propstream is valuable to you, like I said, this is a core piece in my day-to-day business. We could not survive without Propstream. So if you are an investor or a wholesaler at that point in your business and you need a data system, I mean, this is the best you're going to get out there. So if the $97 is worth it to you, that's what it is per month after your trial. With that, you get a pull, I believe, up to it's 5 to 10,000 property records a month. They give you absolutely free. You can skip trace within the platform and do all the other stuff that I showed you today in the video, okay? So hope that helps, guys. Thanks so much again for watching. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.